Presented by PrizePicks, the home of daily fantasy. Pick over-unders for the CDL, like whether Scump will get more or less than 59.5 kills over the first 3 maps. And pair your pick with another from Call of Duty, or from any of the numerous other sports and esports where PrizePicks offer lines. Fancy your favourite NBA player scoring over 14 points? Add it to your entry. Select flex or power play depending on your confidence, and enjoy up to $100 match deposit when you sign up to PrizePicks using the link in the description box below. Use code BreakingPoint to let them know we sent you.
So the standings are very interesting. Of course, 4 of these teams have only played 1 game, so it's a little bit less representative. But Florida leading the way, baby. They're 2-0. They're 6-0 map counts. London right there at 2-0 with a 6-1. Boston, Toronto, OpTic all with a win. Then LAG, Minnesota, Seattle 1-1. And then we've got FaZe, LA Thieves, Paris and New York. So Paris and New York already finding ways to be at the bottom. But FaZe and LA Thieves, you wouldn't necessarily expect them to be there in 4 or 3 matches respectively time. But still, it does... FaZe are probably in a slightly less precarious position because they still have 4 games, but 4 very challenging games, it must be said, that we'll talk about here in a second. And Thieves also, their map count is just not good. And anything can happen here. So like, just looking at these standings, what are you thinking, Lion? Because Florida are 2-0 and the map count they have, they should be good to go. So you've then got to find 4 teams that aren't going to qualify. And it's got to be said that like Minnesota don't have the hardest schedule. Paris and New York are probably chalked, but in fairness, one of Paris and New York gets a win because they have to play each other. So at least like one of them has 1 win. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get some upsets here. I feel like a big team's gonna find themselves in losers.
And that'll be exciting, honestly. And I think I'm feeling Thieves, just because their map count right now is really bad, and then they've got to play. Just this week, they're playing ROKKR, and then the last week, they've got Seattle and LAG. So they theoretically should go 3-0, but if they don't get the vetoes right and they get maps that don't favor them, we've seen that they can get smoked on those maps. So right now, I think that they just need to lock in, bro, because if they don't swiftly win these 3 series, it could be looking dark. And winners round 1 would be tough because they were just a top 3 team, or considered top 3 and best hardpoint team in the game.
So
that's my
basically
feeling.
picked them as the favorite for the majors. I was surprised. Yeah. Like all the reverse sweep guys said they were going to win the major. I was like, hang on a second, let's calm it down. But I kind of agree. I think the other thing as well is that the Minnesota series, they play on Sunday, so they've got quite a wait. And it's just, as we talked about Minnesota, not a team you want to play because, especially when you're not confident in your search, and I'm sure that's what a lot of their focus is on this week. It's like you don't want to get to a game 5 against Minnesota and think, well, here we go, we're playing Minnesota game 5, the game 5 specialists, and we're sitting here having just thrown one away against OpTic and with a huge amount of pressure on the series. So I think that's kind of the issue. I think the FaZe will be fine. I don't think that they're going to be in losers, but I think that there's a decent chance they go like, they could even go 2-3. I think they'll probably go like 3-2. But regardless of how that happens, they're going to get a seeding, probably, which is somewhere middle of the pack. They might get, it could go 4-1 and be like number 1 seed. But I think it's more likely they end up like number 4 seed, number 5 seed. And theoretically, let's say they were like number 6 seed. Then they're going to play, I don't know, what it means is that FaZe are not going to have a first round match where they're number 1 seed and we've got like a number 8 seed they're playing against. I think it's much more probable that we have some crazy first round matches. Even if there isn't some upsets here in the standings, we're going to get like we could get like a FaZe OpTic round 1. Like it's plausible.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I don't know. I think losing to Seattle is an interesting one. But we've said before, we think they're going to lock in, and when they lock in, they're one of the top teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go 4-1. But in reality, I think, should we do like a breakdown of where we think the teams are going to finish, like from first to last?
That'd be interesting.
I feel like that'd be a quicker way to just judge exactly where we think.
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, we can look at the matches. I don't know if you want to bring up the matches on stream, Omar, now, because that will give. We can then talk through like who they play. You know.
Yeah. If we start at 12, we may as well get 12 and 11 out of the way. Do you think New York 12, or
no,
do you think that they're
New York
gonna...
11th, baby?
Okay.
I
Paris 12.
I think New York are beating Paris. I think, yeah, that's my thinking.
And then in the 10th seed, who do you have? I'm feeling a Minnesota ROKKR in 10th.
Yeah, I actually was going to say Minnesota as well. So given we both had that on our mind, I think we have to lock it in. They don't have the easiest run. They do play New York though. Like, there's no way they lose to New York, right?
Well, maybe with the changes, who knows?
In fairness, last stage they went 2-3 and were 10th seed, weren't they? So I think we're going to have to do the same prediction again.
Yeah.
Okay,
9th,
2-3, 10th seed.
I'm feeling Thieves in 9th.
Yeah, let's lock that in. I like that. I like that call. It's a little bit of a hot take, but yeah, Thieves and ROKKR 9th and 10th. Wow, we are on fire today with the predictions.
Wow.
That's a big ball I would move right there.
And then we've got 8th. Who are you thinking out of Seattle, ROKKR, LAG, OpTic, Toronto, Boston, London?
We're already locked ROKKR in. So I think the 8th seed will probably be a 2-3 team that has a decent map count. And I think just I want to look at like, because Seattle right now are kind of there. I'm looking at Seattle's games. They play LAG, they play LA Thieves. There's a decent chance they go 2-3 there. Yeah, I'm going to say Seattle, I think 8th. I don't, because I think they're going to lose to OpTic and they'll beat one of the LA teams and they have a good enough map count to get through.
Yep, so Seattle 8th. 7th, I'm feeling... Ooh,
Boston looking at right now.
Boston, I want to know. I'm feeling LAG will be in that 7th spot.
Yeah, I like it.
I think they'll probably be the best. Wait, so next week they're playing Seattle, LA, and OpTic. Yeah, I think they'll be the best 2 and 3 team, in my opinion. And they'll be in 7th.
Yeah, okay. I think that's actually a good shout. So then we've got 6 teams to decide. I honestly, the more I think about it, I think FaZe is just going to go on a run here. I'm actually going to take Florida in 6th because I think I think they might sneak out another win, but I think they're definitely going to be at least 2-2, and it'll be either 2-3 or 3-2, one of the two. So I think that's going to be good enough for like 6th. But they have great map counts. They might actually be 5th. So maybe that's a little bit under-ranking them. Maybe Boston 6th. I don't know. What do you think, man?
I think Boston 6th, because if we look at who they're playing, all the people they're playing are going to be above them in the rankings. Because they're playing Toronto, they're playing Florida, and they're playing London.
They play Minnesota, though. Oh, no, they play Minnesota as well. They have 4 games, yeah. They still have 4 games.
Yeah, right. So I see them going 3-2 and beating one of these top teams, but that means that we have to drop like Toronto below them, if that's the case. But then Toronto play New York and Paris.
Yeah, Toronto, yeah, agreed. Good point on that front. Okay, so we're going to go, so we've got LAG 7th. No, but Toronto got to be higher than that because they're already 1-0. They play New York and Paris. What do you think?
Yeah, but so is Boston.
Fair point. I don't mind either way. I think Boston should be behind Ultra though. I think they're just the worst team.
But Boston 6th.
Yeah, okay. Boston 6th. Do we get Ultra 5th?
Yes.
And then we go... Okay, Ultra 5th. Then we probably go Mutineers, right? Because they'll be 3-2.
Yeah, but then there's FaZe as well. Do you think FaZe is going to win all 4?
It's a good question.
Because their map count isn't ideal.
I don't think they will, actually. I think we could put them 4th, and that gives us a FaZe Toronto round 1 with a major.
Yeah.
And that's spicy. So let's do that. We'll lock it in. FaZe 4th, I think that's probably good. And then I guess we put Florida 3rd.
Yeah.
And then we've got London versus OpTic for the top seed.
I don't see OpTic losing a match, honestly, this stage. So
London
I think
play
they're going
Paris.
to go 5-0 flawless.
And London play FaZe. So I agree. Okay, so let's recap. We've got OpTic number 1, FaZe 2nd seed, 3rd is Florida. Then we've got...
No, you missed London.
Oh, sorry. Wait, what am I tripping? London 2. I said that wrong. OpTic 1, London 2. Then we had Florida 3.
FaZe.
Do we have Florida 3 or FaZe? I thought we had Florida 3.
We had FaZe 3. Let me type it out in the chat.
This is fake news. We had we had Florida 3.
You're right.
Because we had Toronto FaZe round 1.
Yeah,
So
you're
yeah,
right.
we're tripping, boys. But I think this is a class prediction. We got Florida
Put it
3,
in the chat.
FaZe 4,
Yeah.
Toronto 5,
Yeah.
Boston 6,
Yeah.
LAG 7th,
Yeah.
Seattle 8th.
Yeah.
Then we've got
LA Thieves.
LA Thieves, Minnesota,
Yeah.
New York, Paris. That's our list. So yeah, sorry, we winged it. We completely winged this, boys. So sorry about that, Omar. It was completely off the cuff. I didn't know we were going to do this. So we could have done a graphic, but we just winged it. And if we're right, we're right. If we're wrong, it's fine. We could even do a Twitter graphic, like predictions,
so.
our bracket predictions, or our kind of stage predictions.